and welcome to Man United Agenda. You know, I always smile at the start of the show because of that intro. Intro's got to be the best intro on all United channels. You name me a better intro than that, guys. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting here right now. And by the way, yes, Man United Agenda. Welcome. We are on the road to 4,000 or 4K, whatever you call it. We are almost there. We just need your support, guys. Support the channel. Get us to 4K, and then we will be buzzing. We'll be skinning and winning for a successful season next year. So thanks, guys, for all the support. Make sure you press the like and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you comment as well today on today's show, because we're talking about some interesting topics which will get the juices flowing, as Rebel would say. Second show of the day, second show of the day. Big up to Solo. He done a show this afternoon. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. He was talking solo on his own, and he was talking about Sancho and Rashford. We won't be touching on those subjects tonight. I'm joined today to my left, in the red corner, it's Colm, all the way from, I'm not going to say where you're from, it's up to you if you want to say that. But Colm, welcome back, man. We haven't seen you for a few days. How you doing, bro? Yeah,
not doing too bad at all. Of course, you know, we're going to be talking about goalkeepers. Of course, I've got to be here for this one.
That's right.
It's my thing.
Can we do me a favor? Show me your hands. Put your hands up. Okay, yeah, they look like goalie hands. They're not soft, are they?
No.
They're rough and tough.
Yeah, these have took a rain battering over years.
Don't mess with it. You know, goalkeepers can give you a hard slap. Their hands are everything. And are they insured, Colm? Are your hands insured?
Not anymore. They don't know.
Big up to you. Have you had a good day, Colm? What's been going on?
Yeah, it's been all right. A bit stressful with work, but apart from that, yeah, I've had a good day. Hope you've had a good day.
And as you know, Colm on the Man United Agenda is a keeper. He's here for keeps. He's a keeper and he's here for keeps. And someone else who's here for a long time, since day one, it's Mr. B. If you're wondering why we can't see Mr. B right now, mouthful with a juicy whopper. And for someone who's intermittent in the moment,
it's a burger. He's talking about a burger. He's talking about a burger.
What's going on? How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'll be showing my beautiful face in under 5 minutes. But yeah, I'm not sitting on a channel watching you lot see me eat. So yeah, needs must, and the show must go on, as they say.
Yeah, indeed. We're going to go through a few people in the comments. I want to say big up to Solo. Solo, thanks again. Go and check out his show he did this afternoon. I was tuned in, keeping us up to date with all the news and views. And he had his Buddha watching over him, giving him guidance. You know, big up to Tottenham Hotspur till I die. They are the champions of Europe again. Well, Europa champions, but he sent a super sticker and £2 as well. Enough respect, and you're a member, guys. Make sure you go and support Tottenham till I die. Go and support the channel. We're a community, one big community. It's not just all about Man United. As you can see right here, we have unity with the Spurs brothers. So big up to you guys. Big up to Patrick Pillow. He said big up evening, and to the legends. Good show this morning. To Solo as well, no doubt about it. Well done. Andrew Williams in the house is saying, Guten Tag, comrades. I don't know what language you're talking there, but yeah, big up to you. Big up to German. What is that, Mr. B?
That's German.
Is it German? Okay.
Guten Tag is German.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that from As Feast and Pet? What's that Geordie show with Jimmy Nell? That means I should know because my flatmate is German. Anyway, big up to Stephanie Griffiths. She's saying hi to everybody. And no doubt, keep an eye on the chat. She will be letting us know if you're not liking the channel and let us keep an update. There's 18 watching right now. Don't hear people from Twitter, but make sure you press the like button, guys. Wildlife Machine, how you doing? The big croc there. Rawr! Here to say big up and welcome. I want to hear from you. Big up to I Am Titanium. Nice to see you on the show earlier. And we've got Bart, serious fan as well, in the house. Who else is new? Look at this. Rebel has become a member for 6 months. Okay, so when that expires, make sure you renew Rebel. No doubt about it. Let's see what's happening. Who else is here? We got Sports and Day Games. Dan, I haven't seen you. He says, hi, guys. Has Bath Time left the show? Yes. if you're on Twitter, you all know Bath Time served 3 years with us, but he's gone on to pastures new. We wish you all the best, Bath Time, in your future adventures, Dungeons and Dragons style. I don't know. But yeah, Bath Time, thank you for all the contributions you made to the channel. Really good rapport we've had with you guys. Really good support to the channel. And guys, you can catch Bath Time on Twitter and big him up and follow him, whatever he decides to do in the future. So big up to Bath Time. Who else we've got in the chat? Something saying after Beast event pet. Yes, that was a show back in the 80s. Who gave £1? I gave £1 for the prize. All right, guys, let's start with the news. But I want to get the views from the guys on the panel and you guys as well. Just quickly, just a quick update. The main topic today is goalkeepers, so stay tuned. And that's why Colin's here. But let me just talk about this. We know about Brian Mbuemo, the Brentford superstar, who's probably going to get signed in the next few days. We've made a bid worth up to 60 million. I'll just read this out. I want to get the thoughts of you guys on the panel. The initial fee for Brian Mbuemo has been agreed, and with add-ons taking the deal closer to Brentford's valuation of 65 million being discussed in order to get done. Brentford rate Mbuemo in the same bracket as Cunha. The Brazilian is believed to be earning 1,000k, pardon me, a week. So Mbuemo's salary would be at least 150k as well. So yeah, it looks like Mbuemo is here. We go. I'm excited about this. I've been watching him. What do you call him? I saw a video the other day with that guy, Mr. B, where you know when you take a free kick like and you hit it.
Knuckleball.
Knuckleball, that's the one. He seems to be an expert on the knuckleball. I don't know if you saw that video. So, Mr. B, tell me how you feel. Are you excited about this Mbuemo and the knuckleball shots coming through?
Is he going to be able? Is Bruno going to let him take free kicks? Is one issue. So we might not even see the knuckleball free kick. But look, let's be honest. We knew it was happening. For the last couple of weeks, according to Cole. But yeah, look, we've got him in. It's a new look. 2 new 10s for the season. Obviously, we know how much goals they contributed. I'm just looking forward to seeing them strolling into pre-season, man, and getting off the mark in his first or second game in pre-season. So I think he's gonna hit the ground running. Players who want to play for their club, I'm happy. I'm glad it's done. Obviously, you know the way that United do. Everybody knows our business before. You know, they even know their business half of the time. But it's done. We can now move on to somebody else.
Okay. How are you feeling about this, Colin? I don't think I've heard your views on Mbuemo, but you did say backstage that you kind of knew this deal was done.
Yeah. Like some people in the chat might know. Obviously, I've got a few little people that I speak to who know what's going on in the world of football. And yeah, the Mbuemo deal...
That's not us, by the way.
the Mbuemo deal is done pretty much. They're just finalising the small details in regards to how they're structuring the payment and everything like that. It's been done since we put in the new bid. So it's going to be the next couple of days or so. I think we're going to hear something saying that it's 100% done. And we get the here you go, or whatever the other ones are. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I like Mbuemo. He's a quality player. I think he's going to add so much to our whole team. You know, every time you see him, he looks like he's raring to go and he's wanting to literally be the best player on the pitch all the time. But he's not afraid to give up those moments where we think we've seen certain players. I'm not going to mention any names because we've dug players out for the last couple of days. But where certain players may try and take the glory, he's not afraid to make the pass for somebody else to take the glory. I mean, we've seen what his partnership with, is it Musa they've got there as well?
Wissa,
that's the one. We've seen what their partnership's like there, and I'm hoping he can do that now with Cunha and whoever is playing up front for us.
Good stuff. Before we go on to, there's a couple of questions in the comments for you, Colin. but that will lead us on to the goalkeeper stuff. I'm just going to put that on pause for now, just to talk about this. What does you just mentioned there, Colin? What Mbuemo brings to the club, and you talked about the bad attitudes of the players. You're not going to mention them, of course, but do you think Mbuemo has got something about him? What do you know about him? And this is you to you as well, Mr. B. What do you know about Mbuemo, his personality? Have you ever heard him talk? Have you ever seen him give an interview? I haven't. So what's your feelings about his personality? Surely that should be one of the tick boxes in signing a new player for Man United, especially for 65 million. Do you think he's got the right professionalism and attitude? He's not going to turn into like a club raving sort of bling bling kind of guy, is he?
No, I don't think so. I've not seen many interviews about him. I've seen him do like a couple after a game or so. He seems like he's very down to earth. You know, he's not me all the time. I mean, I know I think it might have been at an F1 thing or something. He got interviewed about Thomas Frank leaving, and he literally said, well, congratulations to him. You know, I hope he succeeds at Spurs because he's been a fantastic manager for me. I think he's a really nice, kind-hearted person, but we'll have to see if this toxic Manchester United dressing room changes his attitude at all.
Mr. B, what's your thoughts? I mean, it's hard to know, but just speculating. What would you say about Mbuemo's character?
I hope he's church going. That's what I hope. I hope he doesn't even know what drill music is. I hope he doesn't own a pair of jeans, especially with rips in. Nah, look, all jokes aside, I think we've got a professional footballer. I think the club now going to try and make sure that personality-wise, they're the right person. Look, the fact that he turned down Arsenal and Newcastle, both in Champions League. I mean, look, nobody's ever going to go Newcastle anyway, but he could have gone to Arsenal. He could have stayed in London and gone to Arsenal. He probably would have been able to stay in the same house he was living in. You know, all right, with the Arsenal money, he probably would have been able to add a bigger garden and another 2 garages, but he might not have had to leave. So the fact that he's willing to up sticks and move to Manchester, I think it's great news for us. And we've got somebody who actually wants to come. So, you know, we're definitely going to be getting somebody who's going to be fighting for the badge.
Unfortunately, on the staff of the Man United agenda, we always have look-alike, you know. With Stuart Marshall, he always comes on, everyone says, that's Ten Hag. But now, as you can see in the comments, Iron Titanium is claiming, Mr. B, that you have an Mbuemo hairstyle. How do you feel about that?
Mbuemo's got my hairstyle. Mbuemo could be my son, so let's get it right. If you can call this a hairstyle, yeah, it's not by choice. Actually, it is by choice. That's a lie. It is by choice. If I really left it out, I'd look like Cole, but, you know, needs must.
Guys in the comments, can we find out who does Colin look like? Which may like past or present does Colin look like? I've got a good one, but I'll let the guys in the comments go with that first. Just quickly, guys in the comments, just let me know what you think about this. Obviously, we've got Mbuemo, we've got Cunha as well, but after Mbuemo, the club will turn to their attention to signing a number 9, not a -9, as Mr. B would say, but with Swedish Victor, he's on the radar, and they've also inquired about Hugo Ekitike and Moses Keane as well as an option. So that's probably next. We're taking one step at a time. But Man United will be in the market also to sign a wing-back, midfielder, and goalkeeper. So we've still got a long way to go with our signings. So it's here we go. We want to see who's next. You guys, Mr. B, who would you target next? Not there's any order. A goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And
how do you feel about that, Colin? Would you the goalkeeper next? You think we should?
It's really difficult to say because of all the stories that are coming out about the financial issues. If we've only got enough money to make one more signing, then we need a striker.
You think we've only got money to make one more signing, Cole?
I don't think we've got any money left after this Mbuemo deal until we sell players.
Oh, well, that's fine. I thought you meant that we weren't going to sign any players if we
No.
Oh, that's fine.
No.
Oh, no, I don't mind. Look, we always knew it was going to be sell to buy. We're lucky we got 2 in before we had to start selling. So, yeah. It's going to be a fire sale from now till until the end of the season, I suppose. But I'll accept that. I will accept being broke and having to do deals. There's no way they're just going to decide this afternoon the players that need to be sold. There's deals in the pipeline. Whatever order they're done in is probably going to be another issue. We all have our preferences, I suppose, individually. Who out of the four we want gone first? But look, as long as they're all gone and they're gone soonish, it's all good. As long as they're not here pre-season, I don't want any of them on that plane flying out to wherever they're flying out to. Leave them here. Let's see. You don't even need to see pictures of them training. I hope their Instagram shuts down until they make the move, and then they're no longer Manchester United players on their bio. They're sportsmen. Once they go to sportsmen, then we know that it's that's the bomber sign, as they say.
Okay. So look, it's project goalkeeper now. This is what the guys on the panel are saying. That's what we want to deal with next. Before we do, we're going to go to the lookalike competition. We asked the guys in the comments, Colin, which Man United player, past or present, does Colin resemble? Obviously, Stephanie Griffiths is talking about Mbuemo being the grey, Mr. B's the grey Mbuemo. Rooney, you like that one, Colin?
Rooney.
We've got Lallana. He's not a Man United player, but obviously ex-footballer. Colin looks like Minier. Who's that? Who's that? Mennonite? I don't know. Any idea?
Nope. Not a clue.
Jemba times. I don't know what you mean by that. Roy Keane. How do you feel about that? Roy Keane?
I wish. I'll take that one.
He's got a pineapple on his head. Andrew Williams saying I look like Jason Lee, ex-Forest player. Roy Keane again. Okay, looks like Roy Keane is the one. Mason Mount minus the glasses. Have you ever been told you look like anyone, a footballer anyway?
No, I haven't really. If I let my hair grow out, and when I do take my glasses off and let my hair grow out, I've been either called Screech from Saved by the Bell, or yeah, or what's his name? Is it Marv from Home Alone? They're the two I get mainly. Honestly, if I took my glasses off and let my hair and push my hair out, you'd see it. You'd see it.
He said,
"You got natural curls." Oh my god, that's funny. Screech. All right, we're going on to goalkeepers now. Goalkeeper talk. Obviously, going way back, £5. Thank you so much to Tottenham till we die. That's what we like to see. Thank you for the contribution here. And because of that, you've asked a question. Question to you, Colin. Which goalkeeper has been the best of all time at United? Please hit that like and get us to 4K. Question, as you could use well, Mr. B. Who's been the best goalkeeper and who's been your favourite goalkeeper? Just one name, and give me a quick summary as to why. You know what, Colin? I'm going to leave you second on this one. Mr. B, I'm coming to you. Who's been the best goalkeeper at Man United all time, and who's been your favourite? One name and just a quick summary.
I go Schmeichel. I will always go Schmeichel. People would maybe say Van der Sar, but yeah, I'm going to go Schmeichel just because he started doing that. You know, that star thing he did when he came out. I'd never seen. Maybe other goalies had done it. You know, I tend to not watch other teams. I'm a bit biased, but the fact that United, he was making saves. He wasn't doing it and the ball going underneath his legs, or he was actually doing and making saves with it. So yeah, it would always be Schmeichel for me.
Well, Andrew Williams agrees with you. He says here, I don't know if it's just nostalgia, but I've always said that Schmeichel was the best keeper he's ever seen. Over to you, Colin. Best keeper you've ever seen and why? At Man United.
Yeah. I mean,
Sorry, not that you've ever seen, just the best keeper.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I'm team Schmeichel. He is actually the player that got me into being a goalkeeper. I watched him. I used to be an outfielder. Then I started watching how Schmeichel played. And ever since then, I wanted to replicate Schmeichel. So, yeah, he's the reason why I turned into a goalkeeper eventually. So, yeah, he's head and shoulders. I would have liked to say De Gea or a Van der Sar, but no, Schmeichel's clear.
Simon Warner agrees with you and Mr. B as well. Andrew Williams saying here, Schmeichel dominated games. No doubt about it. Chat Sports gone with Van der Sar. And, yeah, that's a good shot.
What about you?
Schmeichel for me, yeah. I think he saved us. Then Alex Ferguson made a quote, and he said he guarantees us 12 to 15 points a season, just alone on his saves alone. You only have to look at some of his saves. I remember we played Rapid Vienna one time. He done a sort of Gordon Banks kind of save down low and flicked it over the bar. And coming out, like you said, coming out, making himself big with that crab style. His throws used to start our attacks, our counter attacks. He'd get the ball, throw it to the halfway line. Kanchelskis pick it up, or Giggs would pick it up, and we'd be raiding. It was just an amazing goalkeeper. And at the time, considering taking over from Les Seeley and all the goal, it's just like day and night how good he was. And I remember in '92 European Championships when Denmark actually won it. He saved a penalty from Dennis Bergkamp. That's when I was thinking, who is this guy? You know, great goalkeeper. Would you take Kasper Schmeichel? Good goalkeeper too. Best goalkeeper pairing I've ever seen. Anyway, and there we go. Far on the saying toss up between Van der Sar and Edwin. And Edwin van der Sar, sorry, and Schmeichel. All right, goalkeeper talk. Let me just set this up because we've got some information here. Back in 2013, we signed Milinkovic Savic, 6'6" Serbian goalkeeper. We couldn't keep him because we couldn't get a work permit. Ended up having to sell him on. But we are finally interested in him again. He's been playing in Italy. He's got a brother, older brother, obviously, Milinkovic Savic, the older brother who played for Lazio, now playing in Saudi Arabia, who we've been linked with as well before. But he's been in our books. Fortunately, we couldn't sign him. He could have been there already. Could have been a club legend. But he's at Torino now, and apparently we're interested in him. So if you don't know much about him, we're going to find out about him today. Also, just going, we've got a guy called Lucas Chavalier. He was playing with Angel Gomez at Lille, 23-year-old goalkeeper. He's come through the ranks, and he's been out on loan a couple of times, but he's been number one goalkeeper now at Lille. I don't know much about him. I'm looking forward to hearing about him today. And finally, it's the Portuguese goalkeeper from Porto that we all know about, saves penalties in penalty shootouts, and Portugal's number one. And his name is Diego
Costa.
Costa, that's the one. So there's 3 goalkeepers we're interested in. Let's have some more information. Colin, what do you know about these 3?
Yeah, it depends which one you want to know about first, really, to be honest.
So should we start?
Your preference.
Yeah, let's start one at a time.
Okay, let's start with obviously the one that I think a lot of people are going over, which is Costa. A lot of people seem to be very favourable towards Costa. I have seen a couple of chats in here as I'm saying that saying different. But I mean, a little bit of a deep dive into what Costa is. So 32 appearances, he made 31 starts last season. These are all based off last season. 16 clean sheets, which puts him in the top 50% in the top leagues. Goals conceded 24, that's 0.75 per minute. He faced 82 shots, 55 saves, giving him a save rate of 67% as well. He's not received any yellow cards or red cards, and that's just his league form. In Europa League, 10 appearances, 23 saves, 38 shots with a save rate of 61% as well. But we like to look at how keepers are going to benefit us going forward as well, not just what they do in the net. So if we're going forward, so his short passes are 9 out of 9 in the Europa League or UEFA League Nations, should I say, which is 100%. His total passes was 262, making 217 of them. So that's an 82.8% accuracy with his passing. Long passes, it drops a little bit. It drops down to about 37.5% completion. Medium is on 100%, so he can pick out people from short to medium range. When it gets a bit longer, it's a little bit more difficult. And, you know, there's like I said, there's loads of information. 16 clean sheets, 24 goals conceded, like I said. Goals prevented, 2.27 per 90. So that's how many goals he obviously stops from going in.
Yeah, that's more what I'm interested in, because if you're behind Rio and Vidic, obviously your clean sheet. I want to know what he makes saves wise, to be fair.
So his goals prevented, like I said, is 2.27. He's only saved 2 penalties. He's faced 7 of them. Sweeper actions, he's done 20. High claims, 19. And the most important one that I think is on here, 0 errors leading to goals.
Okay. What about the eye test? Because look, we've got Sashi Guna here saying Anyone can read stats. What about the eyes? And he's also saying here, Chevalier, young goalkeeper, he's been watching him because he's been watching Jonathan David, and he rates him. He's got better with his feet as he's watched these matches all progress this season. But we're talking about Costa. He's Portugal's number one. He's getting it on in age now, but has he got character? I mean, what's shown for me, Colin, is that in penalty shootouts, he stood up and really made himself big and stood, in the Nations League recently and in previous tournaments. And what gets me, playing for Porto, I doubt in the Portuguese league he's going to be tested much because they dominate most of the league. There's only 2 other teams in that league, really. So I don't think the stats really give us a true perspective of who this guy really is and whether he can transform over to a team like Man United in the Premier League. So can you, I don't know, let's keep on Costa, but let's bring Mr. B into the chat. Let's move him over here. Mr. B, you've heard what Colin had to say. What do you know about Diego Costa? What's your thoughts on him?
I don't know much. Goalie's not my strong point. It's not a position that I like to watch or know any strengths or weaknesses on. I can sit down here and blab and lie to you, and talk about this. I know he made a couple. He's a good penalty stopper, but to be fair, that's all I know. I think he's probably the most expensive of the 3 as well, which probably scuppers any deal, regardless of whether they think he's the favourite. I think he'll probably be the most expensive one. Maybe that's because he's the best one. I have no idea, but I'll be honest. It's got to the stage where I don't care who we have. I just don't want Ronaldo in goal. And that's as honest as I can be. I don't want him there. So look, we might get a goalie who's worse. There's a lot of stats on Martinez saying that in certain areas he's worse than Onana, but I think faith is probably one of those things that kind of keeps you going. When the acceptance is Onana's dead, he's finished. The faith and the hope is that whoever comes in is going to be better than him. We might be in this position in a year's time where the goalie who comes in is worse than Onana. Let's hope not. But, it could be that case. So whoever they get, just get it right and let them wear the number 1 shirt. I don't understand how we've got a first choice goalie who didn't want to wear the number 1 shirt. So, yeah, let's have a goalie with a little bit of sense.
Okay, thanks, Mr. B. Colin, let's talk about the Sassiguna, as I mentioned earlier. He knows a lot about the French goalkeeper, Chevalier. We'll be pushing for the French number 1's goalkeeper, who also came from Lille. He's at AC Milan, right?
Yeah.
AC. So, talking about him, I didn't know much about him, to be honest. What do you know, Colin? Any information about this guy?
So, actually, I think this happened a week or 2 ago. I can't remember what it was. Me and Rebel was actually talking about goalkeepers we would like, or he asked me who I would like, and Chevalier is the name that I actually came up with. I said he would be my number 1 target, just because I think he's got so much potential. But not only has he got so much potential, he is already a great goalkeeper when it comes to doing the goalkeeping attributes that I needed. He's not, obviously, I wouldn't say he's the best goalkeeper out there, but for who we've got option-wise at the moment, I think he probably is a little bit clear compared to the other 2. I can't remember how old he is at the minute.
23.
Is he 23? Yeah, 23, yeah. And I think he'll probably end up being the cheapest out of them all as well.
Okay, so you've given it away now. We were going to ask you at the end who's the best. You've already gone. You've already admitted that this guy, the French guy, is probably the best goalkeeper out there, out of the 3 that we discussed right now. Let's talk about Savic, Milinkovic-Savic. Mr. B, as you know, he was at the club not too long ago, and we couldn't sign him because of the work permit issues. He's come from Serbia. But now he's playing consistently. We've got Sashi Guna saying here, Savic at Torino's quality. What do you know about him? He's 6'6", but yeah, have you seen much of him? Did you know about him? He was at the club, and do you know about his brother? And you followed his career at all?
No, I haven't followed his career. I only knew that we were interested when his brother was there. When I knew it was him that was the goalie when we were linked, and people were saying, "No, but we've already got him at the club. We already signed him." I'm thinking, no. And then when you check, obviously, you find out it's his brother. How they've got the exact same name makes no sense to me. But look, it's how people do things, isn't it? He's 6'6". I want him in it. If he's 6'6", I have no problem. That's you want, imposing, intimidating. God knows what his penalty stopping like, but at 6'6", I'm assuming that him coming for crosses, he's going to be really, really good at. He's at that age, 20. What is he? 28. He's ready to go, man. He's ready to rock and roll. The fact that he's been at the club before, maybe hold some sway depending on how the relations were when he left. Him not getting the work permit could just be paper talk. There could have been something deeper than that where he's thinking, I'm not coming back. Or it's a thing where, yeah, it's right, and he'll be relishing the chance to come back and play. Torino, we must be able to deal with Torino. You know what I mean? Slap them like little kids. We want to give you this much for your goalie. This is what we're paying. You talk to him and then you get him out of the club. None of this, we'll pay this much over blah. If it's somebody that they want, Torino are what they did. It's the same level as Lecce, to be fair, where we got Dorgu from. Everybody was saying we're going to spend how much million on Dorgu, and we got him for a cheaper price than everybody thought. So drive the bargain if that's the case. But 6'6" that's a great size for a goalie. What are you, Yabba? 6'4"?
I'm 6'5", so he's got an inch on me.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I read elsewhere that he's
you're massive. You're massive. So yeah, I'm taking a 6'6" goalie 100%, man.
Okay, Colin. Before we go to we talk about stats, but we're going to got a little graph which highlights all three of these. But before we do, just what's your feelings on Savic? Obviously, you picked your number one already, but give us a little boost up about this guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, with his height, he's dominant, he's commanding in his box. There's not many people going to outjump him. You know what I mean? So that kind of like negates a lot of the back stick crosses that we've been struggling with, because he can just come out and gobble them up all day. Don't get me wrong, I like him, but I mean, I'm just trying to find. I'm just looking at the system now to see the prices of people. And he actually, Savic is actually the cheapest option at 16 million euro, which I don't think he would be. I thought he might be a bit more expensive than that, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah, 16 million euro. That's his market value. I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. We all know bigger goalkeepers tend to do quite well. I mean, I did all right for myself. I'm only 5'10", but I did all right for myself. But yeah, no. If we get Savic, I'm not gonna oppose at all.
Well, there's the free.
Never agrees.
Yeah. Never agrees on that. But there's the three goalkeepers. Don't know what you guys. I've seen Andrew Williams in the chat saying he doesn't really know much about them. But we're going to find out a bit more. Mr. B, you've been digging, and you come up with this graph. Talk to us.
Yeah. So look, we'll put it out there first. I'm always going to add our ones. The blue is the shot stopping. I've seen. Con, what are you saying is the most important? Me, I'm looking at shot stopping and passing. I have no idea what are exits.
Exits.
Yeah.
I think. Jesus, I'm sure exits is like putting the ball. Like I don't have a graph like this myself. I never had one on me about me, so I'm not quite sure what exits is. I will find out what it is whilst you're talking.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously the short passing, which was Onana's game, he's quite high at that. But the green, it looks like Savic is. I'm looking at aerial, whatever that is, he's high at it, and that looks like something beneficial. Look, I'm talking like I'm not a goalkeeper, so I don't know. But I'm looking at the graph. I'm saying that Savic is by far the best of the lot. I think he covers everybody's bases. The short passing part of his game, he doesn't have. But do we want a goalie passing the ball short? And what do they classify as short passing? So on this, I'm saying I would be taking Savic. I just think it's hilarious that the two times we've used this graph, the embryo of it has been the United player. We had -9 when we did the striker one, and looking on here now, Is Onana the worst? Yeah, look at your shot stopping. The most important part of goalkeeping is shot stopping, and he's the worst. So anything we get is going to be an improvement, to be honest.
Okay, all right, interesting. That I think. Look, it's good to have a Nana in this graphic as well, isn't it? To compare him with, but no one's mentioned Diego Costa. The aerial's not really there, but he's clearly can pass the ball. Diego Costa's got good passing. This is what we need in modern day goalkeeping, bringing the ball up from the back. Shot stopping's all pretty good for all of them. But like you said there, the green of Savic, he's older, wiser, got more experience. Passing now, whether it's long or short, he does pass the ball, and this is probably reaching its target with his passes. The exits, I don't know what that means, but aerial, actually, he's 6'6" plus, so in that area. And shot stopping is the most important thing here. I think with goalkeeping in this sort of graph, yeah. Does he save his shots? Yeah. Just going back, I mean, when you're 6'6" column, getting down low, that seems pretty tough. But I did notice Donnarumma in the Champions League run, he was getting shots were hit down low by his feet, and he was getting down and flipping them away, which is really good for being so tall. It takes longer to get down there, doesn't it? But yeah, any change of mind or from these sort of graphics here?
I mean, no, like I said, I'd take Savic, but I think maybe I'm just looking at longevity-wise as well in this. I think Chevalier's got a higher ceiling. Savic is basically in his prime now for a goalkeeper. I know he's got like 2 years before he's hit his prime, but Chavalier is like, 23, did we say? 23. So he's got 7 years left. So he's got a bigger pool to grow in. But yeah, I mean, if we want in the here and now, which is probably what we do need if I take my futuristic, spectacles off, Savic is probably the way to go. If we're looking for a more long-term solution, I think Chavalier for me.
Okay.
So I'm worried about sorry. I'm worried about the age. I'll be honest. I'm worried about the age of Chavalier. 23. Yeah, 23, man. We've got a young striker at the club who ain't been able to do nothing. Nobody to lean on. Every mistake he has. I would rather have the older goalkeeper. Because I think he covered himself in glory at the game over there in Shanghai or Malaysia, wherever they played the other day, fluffing his lines there. So I'm not sure why he's been kept. I don't expect him to have any game time at all next season. And maybe he's just there to level out the numbers in training. I don't know. But it's weird. Hey, look, we say that experience, guiding the younger heads. We talk about these players not having anybody to lean on. Maybe him being there and the Chavalier coming in, maybe that will work. Maybe it could work because he'll have, the older head to guide him through certain things. Obviously, not directing him, playing him, but giving him his life experiences as a goalie for Man United. So maybe that could actually work.
Just want to go through a few comments here. We've got big up to Chat Sports. He's saying all-round goalkeeper that could talk to the back four. That's at least they want. Obviously, we can't highlight that on that little diagram we had up there. And he's also saying here, hardly anyone is vocal in the United team. Wildlife Machine saying here, even a milkman is better in Golden. Onana, go for Savic, she said, based on our presentation today. Costa is a pass there better, says Chat Sports. We've got Simon Warner saying here, what's the difference between Michael Jackson and Onana? He says they both wear gloves for no apparent reason. That's a good one. And speaking of jokes, here's Andrew Williams. He asked a question, what's the difference between Onana and a Chinese floating lantern? And let's have a look. He says Chinese floating lanterns take longer to land. Okay. All right, that's good. I want to say big up to Baba Flossie. Said big up to Bilal and Iron Titanium. Big up to you, Baba. Nice to see you. Make sure you press the like. And big up to Matty. He's featured in the show. I keep missing your comments. He's saying here, should we have looked at Sommer before he joined Inter Milan?
There's a lot of things he should have done.
Mm.
10 pence has crippled us, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Lenny Euro knows Chavalier very well. Is that a bonus? Is it a bonus? He's saying it's Sassiguna. Big up Sassiguna as well. And Colin, what do you think of Ramsdale? Because apparently he's been signed by someone today.
Was he?
Where is it? Where's Ramsdale gone, guys? I can't remember. He said something in the comments, or someone's made a bid for him. Yeah, but what do you think of? Here we go. And, Hammers. Looks like the Hammers signing Ramsdale.
Okay.
I thought when he went to, obviously he got relegated with Sheffield United. When he went to Arsenal, started off good, but for some reason they kicked him out. I thought he's vocal. I thought he's a good goalkeeper. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, he'd make a very good number 2. I wouldn't put him as number 1 at United. But if he wants to come and sign as number 2, feel free. No problem with that. Come and play in cup games for us.
No one wants to be a number 2 though anymore, do they? Like
of course they do.
I'd be number 2 right now. I'll be number 2 right now.
Yeah, of course they would. Yeah, they would still have, as long as they guaranteed games. It might be a bit hard to convince somebody to be a number 2 now, but look, let's be honest. If they come in for you and you see the Darden's performances, you're thinking, "Rah, I'm Man United's first choice." You know what I mean? You have, you're looking at the mistakes that you made. Let's be serious, man. You're not coming in thinking you're sitting behind Onana. No matter what the talk is in the interview, you're looking to take his place because, error strewn, as they say.
For sure. I want to say big up to We Deserve Better. How you doing? He says, oh yeah, the boys are back in town. Good evening. Yeah, but Mr. Beaton Colin and the chat as well. Hi to you. And also big up to Hello Moses. He says, Martinez. We haven't really touched on him. Are we missing the boat here? I mean, why are we forgetting about Martinez? We have to be linked with him. Does he trump all these goalkeepers we're talking about tonight?
He's a World Cup win. You know what it is? You see that tackle that he made in the last game of the season?
Yeah.
It's like my head switched. I like him. And I know people say goalies are mad, blah, blah. But at no stage did he go for the ball for one. And 2, if he had really worked out who he was up against, Rasmus would have gone round him and missed. Do you know what I mean? So he's cost Villa the game, maybe them qualifying for Champions League. He's affected his future club, who, want to be employing him. But I don't have a problem with Martinez. But, you want a shiny new toy sometimes. So as much as Martinez is going to be the new toy, he's not a 20, he's a 24 plate. People are driving around with 25 plates, a little bit shinier, so I'd rather go for the one, the new model, the newest model. And I think that's maybe one of the 3 that we're interested in. Martinez, we've seen already. We know how he drives, now I'm hoping that we go somewhere else. I mean, look, Martinez may be the best option out of all of them, the safest pair of hands. But I mean, Villa, I've got a couple of, obviously, one, my cousin and my brother support Villa, and they like him, but they, if he goes, they're not worried if he goes. I want teams to be worried when their players go. Brentford are pissed that, Mbuemo's coming. They understand it. Wolves were pissed that Cunha came, but they understand it. I want teams to don't just wave him out the door. I want somebody who's going to be upsetting people. So those are the targets that I want to be getting.
You know what? When you think about judgments, I mean, we're qualified to talk football. We watch football. We've got channel. All you guys in the chat as well. But someone who's definitely qualified to talk about Martinez is Lionel Messi. Now, we saw in the World Cup final, Martinez made one of the best saves I've ever seen at that sort of stage, and against the French player with seconds left, came out, saved with his feet. Remarkable stuff. And Messi and most Argentines consider him world-class goalkeeper and their best goalkeeper of all time. I mean, you can't argue with that, can you, Colin?
No, I mean, you can't. We can't deny how good Martinez is as a goalkeeper. You can't, because then you're disregarding everything that he's done. He's been the number 1 for them to get them into the Champions League. It was the number 1 for them in the Champions League campaign. He's the number one for Argentina, who's he's won trophies at Argentina. He's got so many accolades to his name, you can't disregard him. However, I'm going to disregard him because he's 32 years old. Look, right. Well, listen, somebody's got to take on the Andy Tate comments here, right? I'll do it. He's 32 years old, which means he's coming towards the back end of his career. I know goalkeepers can go for a little bit longer, but he is coming towards the back end of his career. He's going to want big money on wages as well, you know. He has got the attitude to be a Manchester United keeper, but I think his attitude gets the better of him sometimes. You know, some of this poop housery that he does to keep it PG. And I don't think a lot of it would sit very well with some of the United fan base, and I don't think it would sit very well with Amorim either.
Okay, column the disregarder. That's from Stephanie Griffiths. And Bar is saying here, £400,000 a week is a decent wage for him. All right. Guys, what have we got in store for the rest of the week? Obviously, it's Wednesday tonight. No real football. Who's been watching the World Club Championships? Anyone? Is it getting exciting yet for you guys?
I couldn't tell you. Not watched it.
Okay, I only watched the highlights on YouTube. Haven't watched the full game yet, but surely it's going to be getting to that stage where we get to the knockout rounds. We might take an interest, but not yet.
I won't. I've been very surprised that I haven't. Obviously, you know, you get the 1 minute goal highlight one, so I watched that. But even the YouTube shorts, I'm not watching. I said maybe it's because United aren't watched it. United aren't in it, but I'm glad because we would have been taking licks on our way home by now anyway. So I have no interest in it. To me, it's worse than like the Euros and like I don't know women's football. I just have no interest at all. Even at the final will be on, and I know already I won't have any interest in it. It won't. No.
Fair enough. I just want to shout out England under 21s because I did watch their game against Germany and then I watched their game against Spain. They came through really impressive. I want to give a big shout out to their manager, Lee Carsley, who obviously managed the England senior squad as well. He seems to consistently be doing well at that level. Maybe there's a big job for him in the future. But yeah, well done, Lee Carsley. I don't know how they got on against Holland tonight. Someone in the comments could let us know, or Colin, let us know how they get on. But yeah, really impressive with them. Saying here, good win for the under 21s. They will play Germany or France, where they got through. Well done, England under 21s. Some decent players, and obviously they lost Joe Bellingham, who's gone to Dortmund, and they lost Connor, who's the Chelsea signing from Ipswich.
No, isn't he there?
Liam
Delap was part of their squad as well, and he's dropped out, but he still got to the final. So well done to England. The final will be this weekend. Big up to Chris as well in the chat. I've been shouting for Costa from Porto as our goalkeeper for months. So yeah, we touched that. And big up to Harvey Elliott, who scored twice. Well done to Harvey Elliott. Germany are beating France 2-0. All right, tomorrow night and Friday night. Let's start with Friday night, Mr. B. You've already got something lined up. What's on the menu?
Yeah, we should actually be doing a show on a Friday. Obviously, you know, Fridays are difficult for me, for one reason or another. But yeah, we will be here on Friday. To be honest, you know, the Friday one's a bit of a drunken mess sometimes. So, look, as long as you guys just hit the notification bell, come with your bottle of water. It doesn't have to be alcohol, or a soft drink, or a juice, or even just an empty cup, and give us a little cheers, and we'll waffle, we'll talk. We'll probably be talking a lot of nonsense, laughing quite a lot, hopefully. I know Colm's going to be on, so I'm not going to be waffling to myself like Solo did today. It's hard like that. It's hard. So guys in the chat, look, if I do turn up on my own, you don't have to keep me entertained, man. So yeah.
And what about you, Colin? Are you on tomorrow night? I think you've got something lined up.
No, I'm not actually on tomorrow night. I'm back on Friday. I'm hiding away again after, you know, me being labelled Colm the disrespecter.
Disregarder.
Disregarder, yeah, sorry, the disregarder. Yeah, I'm going to hide away until that nickname disappears. Or I might come back and disregard it, who knows.
All right, big up to Simon Warner, big up to Andrew Williams as well. Chris in the house, Iron Titanium, Stephanie Griffiths, We Deserve Better, and Sassy Guna as well. Thank you for the $5. All well and good. All you guys watching Twitter, I see you. You silent watchers, come on and join the party on the Man United agenda. We're aiming for 4K real soon, guys. Don't forget, Andrew Tate is not Andrew. I'm gonna call him Andy. What's the difference between
Andy?
It's Andy. If I say Andrew Tate, do I mean?
Yeah, you mean him? Yeah.
He's not coming on our show, that's for sure. It's the famous Andy Tate, the more famous one, the infamous one for the Man United channel. He was on last night, really going off from Jadon Sancho. Also got Jay Motti joining us very soon as well. So make sure you tune in to the Man United agenda. I'm going to press end stream. Does that mean we get the title music column?
Yeah, you get the outro music.
Outro. Okay. Here we go, guys. Check this out, and we'll see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Later.